This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's start. So, in the last class, we have discussed what interactive classical reporting. So, we have done all these three levels, and as part of this, we have handled one event called as what outline selection. Okay, and the content of the selected line is stored in the system field sy-liscl. Okay, and from that particular system field sy-liscl, in this particular list we are extracting the customer number. Here we are extracting the sales document number, and here we are extracting the material number. Okay, so we got the material number, right? So we have identified the interacted value by referring to the system field what sy-liscl. Okay, so from this system field only we are extracting the required content. In the first list we have extracted customer number. In the second list we have extracted the sales document number, and in the third list we have extracted the material number. Okay, right. So in the last class, we had one issue. Anyone got chance to look into this? Uh, yes, anyone got opportunity to work on this? So what was the issue we have faced here? When you double click on the material number, we got the material number, but here we are having this issue. Okay, so even I also didn't checked on that. I was out of station. I'll check it today, but you people also, anyone tried?
Recorded.
Okay, just try it today. I'll also check it. Please mute your speakers. Yeah. So now, let me make a copy of this program. It's his fault Carla hates me. Yes, please mute speakers. Come on, Spanky, so things didn't work out. Didn't work out. We have less money than what we came. Yeah, I thought the television show was supposed to be free. Look at all that money. What's going on? We just yeah, I'm getting disturbance. Hello. Fuck your geniuses. Hey, look, how about I take over and give you guys a break? Okay. Spanking and Carly. Miss Crabtree. I would expect this from a 4-year-old, but not from you. Yeah, please mute your speakers. I'm getting disturbance. Okay, right. Let me make a copy of this program. This 51, I'll copy to 52. Yeah, so this particular program contains two include programs. It is asking whether to copy these includes also. Yeah, I'll do one thing. Let me make a copy of this. I'll rename it to different names. One second, please. I'll rename this includes. In the earlier program, the include names are 51. So I'll rename it to something 52. Here also 52. Let me select both of them. Copy. So includes. I'm getting disturbance, please. I don't know who is that. Please mute your speakers. Yeah. So this is a 50-second program. Yeah, I'll make the necessary changes. Let me activate each and every include. Done. So the change I'll do is, so in all these three lists, what we have done is to identify the selected value, we know that the event triggered is what? Outline selection. As part of that event, we are referring to the system field what? SY-LISCL. That particular system field contains the content of the entire line. It contains the content of the entire line. From that content, we are extracting what? Here customer number, here we are extracting sales document number, here we are extracting material number. Okay, there are two more ways to identify the selected value. So what I'll do is just try to focus. So in case of first subroutine, here we are getting the customer data and we are displaying the customers. Okay, so whenever we double click on any of the line in the basic list, the event triggered is what? Outline selection. So in the outline selection, by referring to the system field SY-LISCL, we are extracting the portion of the string. We are extracting the customer number. We got the customer number and we have displayed the sales orders. Okay, so this is your sales orders. Now here what I will do is, when I double click anywhere here, here also the event triggered is what? Outline selection. So instead of referring to the system field SY-LISCL, I'll go for other technique. So what is that other technique means? So here this next list is based on what? Sales document number. Na? We have to identify the sales document number. Based on that sales document number only, we have to get the item data and display it. So the next list is based on what? Sales document. So the change I'll do is, while displaying that sales orders, where I'm displaying the sales orders, here only we are getting the sales orders, we are displaying the sales orders. So while displaying the sales orders, as part of loop and loop, I will use a statement called as id statement. Id w underscore sales orders hyphen what? Veblen. Okay, so what I am doing here, I am just hiding the sales document number. Okay, so what this id statement will do is, see here, try to understand this concept of id statement. So this is the list we are seeing, nothing but this is nothing but your LPS, list processing screen. Okay, so list processing screen. So what I'll do is, first let me display it for our purpose. Let me execute. So these are my customers. When I double click on this, we have displayed the sales orders. Okay, so these are the sales orders. Where I use that id statement, I have used the id statement inside the loop. After the write statement, we have used what? Id statement. What you are doing using id statement, we are saying id so and so webline. So what this id statement will do is, try to understand. Yeah. So what is the sales document displayed here? 49715162, all those things. So this is your what? 4971. This is 5162. Because write statement will display the result on what? Output screen, list processing screen. So whatever the write statement I used, it will display the content here. 5195, 5196, 5234, 5267, 5297, what else, 5344. Like this, we have displayed some data by using what? Write statement. Write statement will display the output on what? List processing screen. Immediately after the write statement, what I used something called as id statement. So what this id statement will do is, there is something called as id memory area. There is something called as id memory area, which is invisible memory. Invisible memory area means we cannot see it physically. It is invisible memory area. What you have done here? Id so and so. Id so and so field. So whatever the WebLAN we have displayed on the output screen, okay, the same WebLAN, we have written it to what? Id memory area. We have written it to id memory area. What is the field we have written? W underscore sales order hyphen WebLAN. So that is the field that we are writing in the id memory area. So what the id statement will do? Write statement Write statement will display the result on what? LPS, that we can see. id statement will maintain that value in id memory area, which is invisible. We cannot see it. But internally, this is the data maintained in the id memory area. On the output screen, we are displaying WebLAN, we are displaying the date, we are displaying the time and what? Name of the person who has created. All the 4 columns we are displayed here. But in the id memory area, we are writing only what? One field. Now what happens is, okay, so just here, right, so whatever I am able to see here, I am able to see all the 4 columns: WebLAN, ERDAT, ERZT, ERNAME. Okay, out of these 4 columns, which column value we have written it to id memory area? W underscore sales orders hyphen WebLAN. So what are the data I displayed here? What are the WebLAN I displayed here? The same data is also available in what? id memory area, which is invisible to us. We cannot see it, but just you have to visualize that there is something called as id memory area. In the id memory area, we have maintained all the sales orders. What is the field we have maintained? W underscore sales orders hyphen WebLAN. Now I'll double click on some line. I'll double click on what? Some line. Okay, so here I'll double click on what? Some line. Suppose if I double click on this, what is the corresponding sales document? 5234. So already we know, whenever we double click anywhere on the list, what is the event triggered? At line selection. So here also when I double click, I assume that I'll double click on this line. What is the corresponding sales document? 5234. So whenever I double click, so I assume that in the runtime, I'll double click on this particular 5234. Whenever I double click on this 5234 or anywhere on the line, what is the event triggered? At line selection event is what? Triggered. Okay, so I assume that here the user, try to understand, the user interacts with this particular content. So whenever the user interacts, what happens? SAP will trigger. SAP triggers what event? SAP triggers at-line selection event. SAP triggers at-line selection event, and SAP clears all the content from what? id memory area. SAP will clears all the content from what? id memory area, and only one value maintains only one value, where the user has done the what? Interaction. Where the user has done the interaction. So what happens now? The moment I click on this anywhere in the line, SAP triggers what? At line selection event. So what happens to the rest of the values in the id memory area? Everything will be cleared, but it will maintain only one value. It maintains only one value where the user has done the interaction. Where the user has done the interaction here, 5234. Only this value will be what? Maintained. And this value will be stored in this particular what? Field. What is that field? W underscore sales orders hyphen what? Veblen. Okay, so this interacted value is stored in that particular field, W underscore sales order FM Veblen. Now what is the agenda? Based on this value only, we have to get the sales items and display. Na? Understood? So the understanding is, based on whichever column value the next list is based, that particular field we have to write it in the id memory area. How do you write it? By using what? Id statement. So whatever the sales documents I'm able to see here, all the sales document is also there in what? Id memory area. But when the user interacts with any of the value, all the values in the id memory area will be destroyed except what? One value where the user has done the interaction, and based on that value only, and that value is stored in what? The field in which you have written the field which you have written to the id memory area. Based on this variable value only, the next list is based on. So what I'll do now here? Okay, we have done what? Id statement. Now I have to handle whichever no outline selection went to. I'll not go for this part now. What I'll do now, I need not refer to the system field. Directly what I'll do, get the sales items for the selected sales document. So I'll directly double click on the subroutine. What I'll do, yeah, here this is also not required, unpack is also not required. I'm directly getting the data into the item internal table where Veblen equal to what? Not v underscore Veblen. What is the field we have written into the item memory area? W underscore sales orders hyphen Veblen. W underscore sales orders hyphen Veblen. That is the field we have written to the item memory area. Okay, based on that field only, we are getting the next list values. We are getting the next list values. Okay, so the only change we have done is in the second list, instead of referring to the system field SY and LISL, we are referring to the field called as what? W underscore sales orders hyphen Veblen. Based on that only, we are getting the item data. Okay, so let me execute and check once. I'll double click on 1001, double click on something, this one 5234. Yes, I got the item data 5234. Let me go back. I'll double click somewhere here. This one. What is the corresponding sales document? 5550. Yes, I got two items, so working fine. 5677, 5195, done, working fine. So what you have done here, I repeat this once again. When I'm displaying the sales orders, okay, while displaying in the loop, in end loop itself, we have used a statement called as id statement. Why we have written only this field? Because the next list is based on this field value only. Na? So on whichever field value the next list data is based, that field we have to maintain in the id memory area by using what statement? Id statement. So this loop will be iterated for some 100 times, for example. So id statement gets executed 100 times, means 100 different sales orders are maintained in the id memory area. Okay, when the list is displayed to the user, when the user does the interaction, SAP triggers the outline selection event and it refreshes what? id memory area except one value where the user has done the interaction. Based on that value only, we are getting the next list data. So here what we can do next now? Okay, now I have to display what? mm03. I have to display the mm03. So the next what screen is based on what? Material number na. So where I'm displaying the sales items here only na. While displaying the sales items here also, I can say what? id what? W underscore sales items hyphen matnr. matnr. So that material number will be maintained in the id memory area. So what I'll do now? Yeah, when 3, here I do not refer to the system field. I do not refer to the system field. Directly I'll say what? Set parameter ID field. What is that field? W underscore sales items hyphen what? Material number. Understood? Because whenever that event is triggered, it refreshes all the material number except the material number where the user has done the interaction. So based on this field only, the next screen is based. That's the reason I'm saying set parameter ID field so and so. So now When I execute, let me check it. I'll double click on 1002. I'll double click on this one. This is item data. I'll go back. I'll double click on this. Let me double click on M18. Oh, I got M20. Why boss? M17. I got M20. M19. Why like that? M11. This is okay. M04. Yeah, this is okay. M19. Okay. M11. Yes, okay. M10. Fine. So problem is I have not activated the main program initially. So I got the material number. Understood? So based on whichever field the next list is based on that field, I can use what? I can write what? IDE statement. Based on that only, I am writing the logic for the next screen. Is it clear? IDE statement. So to understand this, IDE statement will write the value to the IDE memory area, which is invisible. This IDE memory area gets refreshed whenever the outline selection event is what? Triggered. Whenever the outline selection event is triggered. And SAP will clear all the values except the value where the user has done the interaction. Based on that value only, the next list is what? Based. Any questions? Any questions? Done. Okay. So this is about what? IDE statement. There is one more way also. So what I'll do now is, instead of using the IDE technique, okay, or else let me keep this as it is. I'll make a copy of this program, or else let me do it here only. Yeah, here only I'll do it. So what I'll do is, instead of using the IDE statement, let me go for, yeah. So see this. What we are doing now, here we are using what? IDE statement. We are maintaining the material number in the IDE memory area. Let me remove the IDE statement. See what I'll do. So here when 3, what I'll do is get the field name and field value where the user has done the interaction. Where the user has done the interaction. Get the field name and field value where the user has done the interaction. So see the technique here. What I'll do is, let me declare some two variables. I'll go to this include. I'll declare some two fields here. Let me declare data what? V underscore field name type string, V underscore field value type what? String. So I declared what? Two variables of type what? String. Field name type string, field value type string. Let me activate this. Yeah, see the technique here. What I'll do is, yeah, when 3 here I'll say get cursor, get cursor field V underscore field name value field value. Okay, now what I'll do, if V underscore field name is equal to, when you are looping, what is the material number field here? W underscore sales items hyphen MATNR. So if V underscore field name is equal to what? W underscore sales items hyphen material number, then only do this logic. So here I'll say field what? field G underscore F value, field G underscore F value, call transaction so and so, else I'll just give a message, please select material only. Please select material only. Type what? I. And if. So let me check whether I'll get any syntax errors or runtime errors. I'm getting a syntax error. G underscore. It's not G underscore, it is V underscore. Here also it is V underscore, not G underscore. Save it, check it. Okay. I got an error. V underscore F value must be a character type field. V underscore F value must be a character type field. Data type CNDRT. Control structure introduced by interface. Okay. V underscore F value must be a character type field. It should be the data type character, alphanumeric, date or time it says. But I declare this V underscore F value as what? Type what? String. I declare it as type string. So what I'll do is, okay, let me go back. Let me declare that field. Data V underscore material number type what? VBAP hyphen material number. Done. Activate this. Activate this include forcefully. Come back and here I'll say V underscore material number. V underscore material number is equal to what? V underscore F value. And here also I'll say V underscore MATNR. Let me check, then I'll explain. V underscore F value is unknown. Save it, check it, no syntax error, done. Activate this, activate the all includes. First, let me explain. M19 working fine, M04 working fine, L80C working fine. Now, one small change I will do. When I display the item data here, when I display the item data, what I want is, I want the hotspot to be displayed on this material number. Means when I move the cursor on this data, when I move the cursor on this material number, I should get the hotspot and symbol. I should get the hotspot and symbol. So it will be easy for the user. What it is understood that the user has to click on what, has to select what, material number. So for user convenience, I want to display this material number as what, hotspot. So simple statement. While displaying this item data, where I am displaying the item data, yeah, somewhere here I am displaying the item data. As part of this material number, in the right statement only, as part of this material number, I'll say hotspot on. After the field, I will say what, hotspot on. So when I say hotspot on, see now, when I move the cursor on this webland, I'm not getting the hotspot. Item number, I'm not getting the hotspot. But here you can say I'm getting the and symbol. So what is the advantage of this hotspot? Means only single click. If it is not a hotspot, the user has to double click. Suppose here 30 is there. What is the corresponding material number? L60Y. Let me double click on this 30. Please select what, material only, right? I'll double click on this one because I wrote the logic like that. What is the logic I wrote? See, when I click on this, yes, I got the transaction mm03. So first thing what I did is, while displaying the item data, I said hotspot on, so that the and symbol will be displayed when the cursor is moved on the material number. Next, what I did, so whenever we click on, whenever we double click or whenever we click on the hotspot value, what is the event triggered? Same event at line selection. I repeat, whenever we double click or whenever we click on the hotspot value, the event triggered is what? At line selection. So when 3, see what I am doing. I am using a statement called as get cursor. What is the purpose of this get cursor statement? It will return the field name and field value where the user has done the interaction. Let me put the breakpoint here. Okay, so one more thing. This variable is a what type? String type. And this variable is also what type? Both should be what type? String type only. That's why I declared both the things as what, string. So I gave the breakpoint here. Now see the execution. Done. I got the item data. Now let me double click on this 20. So the user is interacting with what? POSNR, item number. What is this? We are in the loop and displaying this now. What is this field value? W, and what is the field name? Sorry, not value. Value is 20 only. Field name is what? W underscore sales items hyphen POSNR. So when I double click, done. Okay, so see here, v underscore fname is blank, v underscore fl is blank. So when this statement is executed, what this get cursor will do? Get cursor will return the field name and the field value where the user has done the interaction. So when I say fi, good, what is the field name? W underscore sales items hyphen POSNR. What is the field value? 20. Okay, so I want the restriction that the user has to click only on what? Material number. So I'm checking whether the field name is equal to material number, but the field name is what? Item number. So if condition is failed, control goes to else part. I'll get the message what? So and so message. Please select what? Material only. Done. Now let me double click on this L61, not double click because I get hotspot. If you are not given the hotspot, yes, I should do double click. But since I get the hotspot, it's only single click. So when I click on this, done. What is the field name now? When I say Fi, what is the field name? Material number. What is the value? So and so. I'm checking if field name is equal to so and so. Yes, condition is satisfied. Okay. So this field value I declared as what type? Type string it seems. Type string. But this set parameter ID will take this as only what? Either character, alphanumeric, or date or time. That's why I have assigned this string to what type? To material type. Because this set parameter statement will take only what? Either character or alphanumeric or date or time. It will not take string it seems. Initially I directly said field v underscore f value, but v underscore f value is declared as a string. That's why I declare another variable v underscore matnr, which is of type material number, which is a character of 18. So I've assigned to what? That v underscore matnr, both are what? L65 now. I'm setting the parameter ID, I'm calling the transaction. So what is the advantage of this get cursor? By using get cursor, we can identify the field name where the user has done the interaction. Means by using it get cursor, we can restrict the user to interact only with a specific column on the list. In the earlier two cases, what happened? Wherever I double click, the event is triggered. Wherever I double click, I'm extracting what? Customer number here. Even if I double click on Omega, what is the corresponding customer? 1002. So based on that 1002, I got the sales orders. Here also I can double click anywhere. But what is the logic we wrote here? ID statement. The corresponding field we have ID'd is what? Webline. So even if I double click on this, what is the corresponding webline which you have ID'd? 5017. Based on that value, we are getting the value. We are getting the next list. But here the advantage of get cursor is we are restricting the user to interact only with a particular list column on the output screen. If the user double clicks or interacts with any other value, we are prompting a message to select only appropriate column value. I got M03. So whether we double click or whether we select the hotspot value, the event triggered is what? Outline selection only. Outline selection only. In how many ways we can identify the selected value? Three different ways. By referring to the system field SY-LISCL, by using ID statement, and by using what? Get cursor statement. Get cursor statement will return the field name and field value where the user has done the interaction. So before I use them, let me just clear and use it. Done. So any questions, please ask. Any questions? Right. Now in the same program, so we have handled three events so far. What are they? Are four events, including start of selection, four events. Start of selection, top of page during line selection, and what? At line selection. So we know the top of page is used for what? generating heading for basic list, and top of page doing line selection is for generating heading for what? Secondary list. Generating heading for what? Secondary list. So now what I want is I want to generate the footer. I want to generate the footer for basic list as well as for the secondary list. So in order to generate the footer, we need to handle a event called as end of page. So we have a event, I can handle it anywhere. Okay, so I'll say end of page. What is the purpose of this end of page event? To generate footer. To generate footer for the basic list as well as for the secondary list. So I'll say right. Okay, I'll just give some, I want to start the line from 15th line. I'll say something. Something like this. This is my what? Footer notes. How many lines I'm generating the footer? 2 lines. So let's see whether the event is triggered or not. So what is the event I'm handling? End of page. So when I execute, no, I didn't got any footer for the basic list. Let me double click on what? Customer number. This is my secondary list. Secondary list 1. If I scroll down, I don't have footer for this list also. Let me double click on some sales document number. I got secondary list 2. Here also I didn't got any footer. So what is happening is this event is not getting triggered. This event is not getting triggered. This event will be triggered only when the control reaches end of page. This event is triggered only when the control reaches end of page. So we need to instruct SAP how many lines you want to reserve per page. Whenever we handle the end of page event, we need to instruct SAP how many lines you want to reserve per page. So what I'll do as part of this report statement, I will say I'll use one addition called as part of report statement line count. I'll say something 10 of 10 of 2, 10 of 2 or 10 of 3 also. I'll say 10 of 3. So what is the meaning of this 10 of 3? Okay, here and at the end of page, I will use one underline also. Okay. So what is the meaning of this 10 of 3? 10 lines per page. 10 lines per page. Out of 10 lines, the last 3 are for what? Footer. Out of 10 lines, the last 3 are for footer. Means 7 lines for the body and the last 3 lines for footer. So 7 plus 3 is what? 10 lines. So after every 7th line, end of page will be triggered. That is the meaning. So when I execute now, see now, when I execute, this is my basic list. Yeah, you can see I got the footer. So this is one line. Underline is also one line. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So after 7th line, end of page event is triggered. I give underline in the end of page. I got these 3 lines. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why I got like this? Let me double click on 1002. Yeah, here also if you check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, after 7th line. Next year also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, after 7th line I got it. Done, working fine. Anything I did in customers data? Achha, I gave U line here also. Okay, done. Okay, here also I gave U line. That's the issue. Okay, I'm unable to see that. So now if you see, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. 6 only means I am not getting further data. Since the seventh line is not reached, the end of page event is not triggered. Understood? Since the seventh line is not triggered, seventh line is not reached in the second page, end of line is not triggered. Okay, so if I increase the customer range, I would get it. I'll give 1030. When I execute, yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. End of page is triggered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got the end of page. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. End of page is not triggered because only 4 lines are available in this page. So end of page is not only for basic list, it is for all the list. In every list after seventh line, in every list after seventh line, end of page event is triggered. So I got the data. Here it is not triggered because it has not reached the 7 lines. That is the meaning. It has not reached the 7th line. So you know what, whenever we handle end of page event, you must reserve what? Number of lines per page. I said 10 of 3. Now one more thing I can do here. I'll say 10 of 2 only. Means 10 lines per page. Out of 10 lines, the last 2 are for footer. So you are reserving only 2 lines for footer, but you are generating 3 lines. Underline is also 1 line. 1, 2, 3. 3 lines you are generating. So what happens? The gens of technologies will not be displayed, I think. See, when I execute, yeah, you can see I got underline SAP training. I didn't got the gens of technologies. Here also I got underline SAP training. So you have to reserve ample number of lines for what? Footer. Otherwise, the rest of the lines will be suppressed. It will not give any error, but the rest of the lines will be suppressed. So end of page event is a end of page is a event triggered in basic list as well as in secondary list whenever the end of page is and whenever the end of page is reached. Whenever we handle the end of page event, we have to use the addition what? Line count. By using that line count addition as part of report statement, we can specify the number of lines per page. So this indicates 10 lines per page. Out of 10, the last 3 are for what? Footer. Hope it's clear to everyone. Any questions here? You will have one issue here. Okay, what I'll do is I'll do it in the same program. You will have one issue. What is that issue means? Okay, yeah. In the top of page event, yeah, I'm reserving how many lines in the top of page? 2 lines. I'm reserving in the top of page 2 lines. U line and what? So and so. Okay, done. Now I'll say here 4 of 2. What is the meaning of this? 4 lines per page. Out of 4 lines per page, the last 2 are forward footer. The last 2 are forward footer. So 2 in the body, 2 in the footer. But what are the 2 lines are reserved in the body? The 2 lines are already consumed by top of page. Top of page event itself will take what? 2 lines. Then there is no space left for the content to be displayed in the body. So see what happens when I execute this. Good. I got the runtime error. See what is the runtime error. So we should be very careful when you're using this line count option. What is the error I got? Runtime error. List top of page overflow. List top of page overflow. List page overflow. Page header what? Too large. The page header of a list page is larger than the page itself. Okay. See the error analysis. The number of lines per page, the number of lines per page was agreed with 2. I gave 4 of 2. 4 of 2 means what? 4 lines per page. The last 2 are for footer. So per page only 2 lines. The body part is only 2. The number of lines per page was agreed with 2. These lines have already been used up on the current page 1 by the top of page event. It is therefore not possible to fit the entire page header on one page. Okay, so we should be very careful when you are using the line count option. Okay, so here let me give something. What? Okay, that's it. Okay, so this will give me what? Runtime error. Runtime error. So let me go for this only. This will work fine. This will work fine. Okay, working fine. So what are the events we have seen? Top of page during line selection, end of page event, and at line selection event. Whenever we use end of page event, you must use the addition what? Line count. By using the line count option, we can instruct SAP how many lines it has to reserve per page. And in that lines, how many lines should be reserved for footer. Okay, and we should be very careful when you're using the line count option, because the number of lines reserved, if it is already consumed by top of page event or top of page during line selection event, it leads to what? Runtime error, because there is no space to display the body content, to fit the body content. Right, so I'll just summarize. Whenever we double click or whenever we click on the hotspot on the list, the event triggered is what? At line selection. And how do we identify the selected value? Means three different ways: by referring to the system field sy-liscl, or by using the hide statement, or by using the get cursor statement. Sy-liscl will store the entire line content. From that entire line content, we have to extract the portion of the required field. I have to extract the portion of the data. Okay, and that is done by using what? Offset logic. And hide statement is generally used after the write statement. Hide statement is generally used after the write statement. Hide statement will write that field value into the hide memory area. This hide memory area gets refreshed whenever the at-line selection event is triggered, and SAP will maintain only one value where the user has done the interaction. Okay, based on that value we can get the data for the next list. And another way is by using the get cursor statement. Get cursor statement will return the field name and field value where the user has done the interaction. By using get cursor statement, we can restrict the user to interact with the particular column values on the list. Okay, and what else? To generate heading for the basic list, we handle an event called as top of page. To generate the heading for the secondary list, we handle an event called as top of page during line selection. Okay, and to generate footer for basic list or secondary list, we must handle an event called as what? End of page. Whenever the end of page event is triggered, only when the end of page is reached. Okay, for this we need to use the addition what? Line count as part of report statement. By using this line count option, we can reserve number of lines per page, number of footer lines. Okay, when the number of lines reserved, if it is already consumed by the event's top of page or top of page during line selection, it leads to what? Runtime error, list page overflow. Okay, that's it. So any questions? I'll check this issue, why this offset logic what we got in the last class. Okay, I didn't got opportunity to look into this. Today I'll try this. You also try. What are the issue? We are getting what? When you are extracting the portion of the string in the 51st program, in the earlier program we had that issue that we are getting the material number and suffix with some zero and space. Okay, so offset logic is not working exactly for what? The material number column. Okay, so let me check. You also please try. Right, so far we are getting the data only from what? One table. Okay, so tomorrow onward we'll see how to get the data from what? Multiple tables. by using what? Single select query. By using one select query, I should be able to get the data from 2 or more tables. So that part we'll start discussing from tomorrow onwards. Done? So I'll wind off for today. We'll continue tomorrow.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, Raghavendra.
Sir, this is regarding when we click when we use hide statement and when we click on the particular line item, at that moment SAP will refresh the complete hide memory area. Correct?
Except
Except the yeah,
that value where we have done the interaction. Correct.
right. So when we go back, it will again fill all the values, is it?
Yes, obviously, because again we are looping and using the write statement. Na? So again, when the
Okay.
write statement is executed, after every write, we are using the hide statement. So again, hide memory area gets filled.
Oh, okay, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Yeah. New batch for ABAP, ANA and cross apps. Cross apps would be maybe it will take some more time, Vamshi. But ANA batch probably I may start in another 1 week or so. But the timings would be 9 to 10. Timings for ABAP ANA would be 9 to 10. Probably in 1 week, not yet confirmed. Cross apps, it would be after September 20th. Oops ABAP, not yet decided, Syed. Oops ABAP, actually we started at 9 o'clock, but again people are asking different slots. So I have not continued that batch. I have taken only 2 sessions and I kept it on hold. So if I'm having sufficient strength only, I can start. I cannot start for 4 or 5 members now. So minimum 10 members if it is there, I can start at 9 o'clock. Okay. Right.
So
So yeah.
SAP HANA will be online, is it?
Yeah. ABAP ANA, yes, it's online only.
Okay.
All batches will be online, Raghavendra. Online and classroom. But UI5 and ANA will be only online.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Syed.
Sir, I want to talk with you. Can I call you in 5 minutes?
No. I'm having another batch. I'm already getting late. You can do one thing. You can call me at 9 o'clock. 9 to 10, I'm free.
Okay, ठीक है.
Yeah. Chalo then. So I'm winding off. We'll continue tomorrow.